Okay, so it was August 16, 2013 when Google went down for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, and the world's internet traffic went down by 40%. You guys know Bing, right? Google's competitor in the search engine market? Well, the most searched word on Bing is Google. Back in the early days before Google and Bing and all these search engines started, if you did not have information about something, you just have to accept the fact that you don't know it, or you have to go to libraries and read hundreds of books and maybe find the information. In today's world, we get information in just a fraction of a second. It is estimated that Google has 63,000 searches per second. That is approximately 5.6 billion searches a day, and in a year approximately 2 trillion searches. That is crazy. But how does this all work? Let's roll that intro first. Hello guys, my name is Kome, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining how Google search works. Okay, so you may be asking, well, why is it important for me to know how Google search works? I personally have been using Google for many years without knowing how it works. Well, it's important if you have like an online business, an online website, or even if you're a web developer. Knowing how Google search works and being able to optimize your website to come up among the top results in Google search is very important, as it could boost your sales, help you get more clients, so that means more money. Okay, so how does it all work? In this video, I'm going to be telling you how it works in the technical part and also be giving you some tips to optimize your website. Okay, so before Google shows you any result on its result page, it goes through 3 steps. The first step is called crawling, which is finding the information. The second step is called indexing, which is storing that information it has found from its first step. And the third step is called serving and ranking, which is basically showing you that information it has found from its first and second step. Before I can explain what crawling is, you need to understand what the World Wide Web is. So the World Wide Web is a mouthful for me, so I'm just going to call it the web. It's the same thing, exactly the same thing. So, what is the web? The web is just a collection of web pages that are connected through links. Well, what does that mean exactly? Imagine you're on CNN's website, right? So you're just going through CNN's website, you're reading an article, and let's say from that website, you see a link that goes to Microsoft website. You click on that link, you go to Microsoft website. And let's say from Microsoft's website, it leads you to Amazon's website. Now you can see how these pages are just connected through links. So you're just clicking on one link and going to another web page, and you're clicking on that link and going to another web page. That is basically the entire web. It's just a bunch of websites connected through links. I need to change my battery.
Few moments later.
Okay, so we're back live. Sorry about that. Okay, where did I stop? Yes, I was talking about how the web is just websites connected through links. Okay, so how does this relate to crawling? Well, crawling is just the process of searching the web. Now, there isn't like a registry where all the websites in the world are just stored in. So what happens is that Google has a program called a crawler or a spider. What that program is basically meant to do is just to crawl the entire web and get information from the web. So what happens is the bot starts from a particular web page, and just as I explained in the previous example of you like following CNN's website, Microsoft website, that is basically what the crawler or the bot does. It just follows links from website to website and scans the entire web. Okay, so that is basically how it uses those links to discover like web pages. So you must make sure that your website can be crawled successfully by Google. So there's a website you can go to and make sure that your website looks correctly and it's all good, so like Google can crawl it. I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out. The second thing is that having some website linked to your website can also help. It's sort of like referrals. So just imagine this. So if you ask someone, oh, where can I get my haircut? And 3 people tell you to go to a particular place and only one person tells you to go to a different place, you're going to trust that place that 3 people tell you to go to more, right? Rather than the one place someone else told you to go to. So it's sort of like that. So having more website linked to your website can really help boost your website as well. Okay, so now Google has found like a website. It's Google, the program is currently on a website. So what happens? Well, that program I talked about earlier, which is called a spider or a crawler, basically what it tries to do is tries to understand what is on the page, what the page is about. So like the website is currently on, what is this page about? So it goes through the page trying to scan and understand what that page is about. Then it takes those information it has gotten about the page and stores it in Google's database. This is called indexing. At the back of a book you have like indexes, and it helps you find pages in a book very quickly and fast. So that is basically what it does. So it tries to understand the little details about the page and it indexes it in its database so that when you search, it's able to find this information very fast. Note that Google doesn't go to the entire web and start searching when you type in your search query. It constantly has to scan the web constantly, even when you're not searching. Because if it has to do it while you're searching, you can imagine there are billions of websites in the world growing every day and day. So you can imagine how long it's going to take for it to scan the entire web and show you this result. So Google is constantly scanning the web, even when you're not searching, for new websites and new web pages. So that is basically indexing. So storing that information it gets from the web page, just storing it in its database in an index form so it's able to search it fast. So that's basically indexing. So to improve the indexing of your web page, ensure you create short and meaningful title on your web page. Use page headings to convey the message of the page. So make sure you use headings of your page to convey what like the page is about. And sometimes you want to use text rather than videos or images. The bot can definitely read images and know what that image is about or know what that video is about, but sometimes it's much easier for the bot to understand a text rather than an image or a video. So sometimes you want to use like an image, you want to use a text instead of an image in some cases. I also forgot to add that you can just type this on your Google search. That is type site, then your website, and you can see if your website has been indexed by Google. So this is a website that has been indexed by Google, and this is another website that hasn't been indexed by Google. Okay, so now Google has found the web page, it has scanned the web page, it knows what that web page is about, it has stored all this information in its database. What happens next? Now this process is called serving and ranking. Google has an algorithm that ranks web pages and shows you the most relevant results. Imagine searching grocery stores. What happens is that Google takes each of those words, so grocery and stores, and searches each of those words in a database. You can imagine the millions of results it will come back with. So it cannot just show you all those results at once. It has to figure out a way the most relevant result to you and show you results to that. There's a reason why one web page comes before another in Google search result. So there's a lot of things Google takes into factor before it shows you a web page that it thinks is relevant to you. So it could look at the website title. That's why I told you previously that you have to have a very good title on your web page. So it looks at that title and see if the word search is like in sequence in the title, if the title contains any of the word search. It can also take into account how many web pages link back to that web page. So remember the example I gave earlier, whereby you have 4 friends and 3 of them refer you to a particular store, and just one refers you to a different store. You're going to trust the store that the 3 people refer you to more than the one that just one person refers you to. So it's sort of like that. But it doesn't just take linking of web pages into account. It also takes into the location. So for example, if I search grocery stores near me in Canada, it's going to show me a different result than someone that searched grocery stores in the United States. So it takes into location. It takes into account the user's location. It also takes into account the user's language. So it's not going to show me a result of a web page that is in English if my language is like Korean. So it's going to show different results based on that. It also takes into account like what devices the person using, like if the person using like a desktop, a mobile phone. No one knows the exact way the algorithm works, as in this is Google's secret. They cannot just expose it to the public. But it takes some of this into factor to show you the most relevant results to you. So in order to make sure that Google can rank your page among one of the highest to improve it, this doesn't mean that your web page is going to definitely come out among the top results, but it can help improve the ranking of it. Ensure that your web page loads fast. Ensure that it's also mobile friendly. So some website, they can look really great on a desktop but look really terrible on a mobile phone. You want to ensure that you also put very relevant content on your website and update it frequently. So Google also looks into account how fresh is this web page, how fresh is this information, when last was it updated. So it also takes into account things like that before showing you a website. Okay, so that's basically how Google search works. So first of all, it has to find the web page. So it uses the spider or the crawler to find web pages. And second of all, the second step, which it tries to understand what that web page is about and store that information. That is indexing. And the third step is basically filtering those information it has found to show you the best and relevant result to you. So I hope in this video I was able to explain how Google search works, and I hope you were able to understand. I hope now you have some tips on how to optimize your website to improve the ranking and make sure that Google is able to scan through your site properly. I'm going to leave some link down in the description below so you can read more and get more information about this. So here are some fun search queries you can do. So try searching Google in 1998. It's going to show you how Google's website looked when it first started in 1998. You can also try searching do a barrel roll, and you just see what happens. Google is not all that perfect. It definitely has like some mistakes previously in the past. So previously, if you search how many calories are in 330 tons of butter, it's going to show you minus 2 billion. This was an error, but I believe by now they have fixed it. Also, if you search what color is green, it will tell you blue. I wonder how that worked. So yeah, but Google always tries to improve their search result, and you can also report an inappropriate search result as well. I hope this video was fun. If you enjoyed this video, ensure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post, and I hope to see you next time.